So, are you a fan of MCU like me? But are you a fan of MCU that is also concerned? Here's the thing, with me, I'm 50-50. I know that the MCU is gonna be good if they rearrange some things, because right now, things are looking a little bit iffy, especially with a certain somebody who is in major trouble. Avengers KANG Dynasty, Marvel rethinking the Multiverse saga from new Rockstars. Now, I know everybody is just in shambles about where the MCU is going. Everybody's been disappointed about Phase 4 and MCU, whatever the hell, and quality versus quality, and writing, and wokeness. Well, here's another concern. Jonathan Majors might not be Kang no more. So, with things looking the way they're looking, what's next for the Multiverse saga? We don't know. They're still bringing out content, as far as I know. I know Loki's coming out in, I think, October or November, but Jonathan Majors is still gonna be on that show, as was teased at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the movie everybody loved. So, we are gonna look at new Rockstars, see what they're talking about. Because I'm also curious about where they're going also. You ready? I'm ready. 3, 2, 1, run it.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and is Marvel Studios' plan for Avengers KANG Dynasty completely going back to the drawing board? Some unconfirmed rumors are claiming screenwriter Jeff Loveness is being replaced, on top of the title character and big bad of Marvel's Multiverse saga, Kang the Conqueror, facing some uncertainty after Jonathan Majors has been going through some legal drama. I have held off discussing this story, and I won't be getting into all the legal details in this video, but we are going to discuss Marvel's narrative strategy and where they might go from here. In this brave new world where one of their best directors is leaving and everybody's going on strike. And if you want to support our growing network here at New Rockstars, the best way to support us is to grab a multiverse dive over at nerdriot.shop.
Yeah, also the writer strike's not helping at all.
Loveness are coming from Scooper Jeff Snyder, who dropped this on he and John Roca's The Hot Mic podcast.
My source is saying that Jeff Loveness is off of the KANG Dynasty and that he fell off before the strike.
So we should know, even Jeff says it is unconfirmed, but this is coming out as Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania releases on Disney Plus after making nearly $150 million less globally than 2018's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I didn't know that
one
part.
of the greatest sins in Hollywood media coverage is singling out a movie's screenwriter for a film's box office failure or box office success. Obviously, a film screenplay is incredibly important and cannot be replicated with AI for any studio heads listening, but a film's performance is a factor of many decisions, and really that buck stops with the director and the studio. I think people blame the writing or the VFX because while directors love going on in interviews about the process and their vision, writers and VFX artists are troll people who spend their gold in caves, while the angry village mob outside doesn't understand what the job of a screenwriter or a VFX artist really entails.
Thank you! I hate the fact that everyone on the internet is like this. The fact that everyone on the internet is somehow an expert in movie or television writing. Like, you don't know a damn thing about it. You work at a Marathon gas station. Shut up. Anyways.
Especially at Marvel, writers and artists are scrambling to keep up with increasingly unrealistic demands from above to completely rework stories up until the last minute. So if it is true that Loveness was dropped from Quantumania, but Peyton Reed keeps getting to direct Mandalorian episodes, that is total bullshit in my view. But this does speak to a bit of a perfect storm of concerns over at Marvel Studios for their future. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the biggest critical and commercial success the studio's had in several titles, making it even sadder for Marvel fans that James Gunn is leaving to head DC for Warner Brothers. Many at Disney are likely regretting temporarily firing Gunn in the summer of 2018, which led to the delay of Guardians Volume 3 to now, when it was originally going to start Marvel Phase 4 in May 2020. So think about that. It was going to go Endgame, then Far From Home, then
Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah.
Now, a lot of people ask me how I'm able to stay focused researching all these videos, and honestly, it's one of these. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, the once face of Marvel's future, and I guess its present and its past, Kang the Conqueror, is now a source of uncertainty. On March 25th, Jonathan Majors was arrested in Manhattan and charged with several counts of assault in the 3rd degree, 3 counts of attempted assault in the 3rd degree, 1 count of aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree, and 1 count of harassment in the 2nd degree, after an incident that reportedly took place between Majors and his girlfriend, in which his girlfriend was allegedly hospitalized. Now, Majors and his attorney deny the accusations. There has been a lot of statements made, and Majors is scheduled to appear in court on June 13th. This is an actively developing story. I am not a lawyer, and the last thing we need are YouTubers sorting through the evidence like Nancy Grace, because you know what happens when you do that, YouTube? You become pawns either for the prosecution or the defense as they use you to try this case out in the media.
I say nothing.
Stop doing that.
I
think
say
the best
nothing.
thing said about this was on May 5th by my colleague Joanna Robinson, who has co-written an extremely well-researched book on the MCU. She's one of the top Marvel experts with a ton of sources at the studio. She had this interesting statement on the Ringer's The Big Picture podcast.
Yeah, I don't think you and I are very interested in saying like what Marvel should or shouldn't do, etc. going forward, but we know that this is a huge problem for them that they're facing, that they're grappling with right now. And what's unprecedented in this for Marvel is, I would argue, they've never hung so much of a franchise on one actor as they decide to hang it on Jonathan Majors after his Loki performance and his Ant-Man Quantumania performance. I was told by someone who works for Marvel that it was not the plan to make Kang the center of everything until they saw the dailies in Quantumania and after his performance in Loki, which was so strong. They were like, this is it. This is our way forward. We've lost our varsity hero team, but let's center around this guy, Kang, and this incredible performer that so many people are reacting to. And I would argue, more than Downey as Iron Man and like more than Brolin as Thanos, like this hanging everything on this guy who was gonna then crop up in all of their properties leading up to something called the Kang Dynasty has put them in a very unusual position. They don't usually hang so much on one person or one thing the way that they did here. And yeah, it's put them in the bind. We don't know what they're gonna do. I've heard conflicting stories about they are going to replace him. They're not even considering replacing him, et cetera, et cetera. We don't know, but it is just one more thing.
Joanna, as usual, hits the nail on the head. After Loki, Marvel put all their chips on Jonathan Majors.
All
and
of
the post-credit
it.
scene
I
of
swear,
Ant-Man
all of
They
it.
implied
Even
that
in
he would be
this scene.
playing every iteration of Kang. Now, yes, you could argue Marvel also bet big on Josh Brolin in the Infinity Saga, and we should note that Josh Brolin had his own history of a 2004 domestic abuse arrest that Hollywood seems to have moved on from. But Thanos was one big name in a universe full of heavyweights. The Avengers, not Thanos, were the faces of the MCU back in those days. Now, Marvel seems to have lost its varsity roster, while Kang, all the Kangs, was their backup plan. Now, that plan is complicated. Marvel has said they are moving forward with Loki Season 2 coming October 6th, one scene of which we saw as Quantumania's second post-credit scene with Kang variant Victor Timely. There have been some unconfirmed rumors from Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus that Marvel is sticking with its Multiverse Saga plan in Kang, but whether or not they stick with Kang will be answered at the end of Loki Season 2. Perez also hinted that some Kang scenes might be being reshot, but he wouldn't say which ones. He also claimed that there was an order on promotional material from Disney saying that Quantumania articles shouldn't mention Jonathan Majors. I was not able to confirm any of this, so take it all with a grain of salt. But if they are reshooting anything, their options are limited. The ongoing writer's strike has already halted a number of Marvel productions, and any new script material being written right now for Loki Season 2 would be a serious WGA violation. I don't care if it's being written by that Kevin robot they got in the vault. That robot's a scab. Also, reports are saying that Marvel productions in particular are especially at risk due to the studio's tendency to rewrite scripts late into production. And now, the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, authorized a strike vote, with voting closing on June 5th, and if it passes, no actors will be able to show up to set, to shoot, or reshoot anything. So, where does Marvel go from here? Well, you gotta imagine Marvel Studios and Disney are quickly drawing up contingency plans. They're not gonna talk about them, but they got the plans. Some might say a recast of Majors could be done simply without fanfare, like when they recast Rhodey from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle in Iron Man 2.
I don't want another one. I don't want another one of those.
Let's move on.
Or who knows, Marvel could give several actors a huge opportunity and cast a dynasty of 7 up-and-coming actors to play the whole Kang Dynasty. But really, it is too soon to speculate. Majors has not been convicted of anything, and in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty. We gotta let this play out. You could say Marvel should wait until Major's next court appearance on June 13th, but that strike vote ends on June 5th, and this case is gonna play out for months, so that studio is likely moving fast on backup plans behind the scenes. I am gonna propose something extreme and suggest that no matter what the news brings over the next several months, this July at Comic-Con, Marvel Studios would definitely benefit from announcing a hard reset after Phase 6 ends with Avengers Secret Wars. Just acknowledge that things are crazy and directionless right now in the Multiverse saga. Embrace that chaos as part of the plan and say that after all these forces collide in Secret Wars, the franchise will, we promise, do a hard reboot with a new lineup of Avengers. Fantastic Four, X-Men, and the rest. A new Tony Stark, new Wolverine, new T'Challa. Some actors might survive Secret Wars and remain, some will return to their home universes, some might die forever, but after the dust settles, leading a new 616 will be a lineup of Marvel heroes we can really get behind. That way, we'll all be going into Secret Wars, campaigning and pulling for our particular hero to survive the reset. It'll be Civil War, Infinity War all over again. Let them fight it out. It'll give the world time to sort itself out. But I want to hear from you. What course do you think Marvel should take?
It's a real, God, it's so iffy, so up in the air. Like the fact that we were so confident, that they were so confident in Jonathan Majors, in his performance as Kang, or he who remains. As soon as they saw those 2 performances, they were like, that's it. Like, I don't think they, like they said, I don't think they ever put all their chips into one actor since probably RDJ. RDJ also has history, like a criminal history. The thing is though, is that most people like RDJ and Brolin, you know, the things that they have like overcame already and were willing to give a second chance to, you know? Like RDJ's career kicked off again. I mean, he was already doing stuff before, you know, before Iron Man, but it really kicked off and set the tone for his career when he did Iron Man again, and his career was restored. Now, here's the thing. The Flash comes out soon, and Ezra Miller has done much worse. But I'm not gonna say anything else, because like you said, any person in court can use what somebody says online. But I will say that yes, they do need, the MCU, Marvel Studios, does need to steer in a direction soon and fast, because not only is this hurting them, but the writer's strike is hurting them, and it's just a huge circus. And I think it's probably the first kind of controversy or kind of speed bump that Marvel Studios has to, you know, get over that hump. And not only that, but you have all these other people that are, you know, writing experts and directing experts and say, oh, I should have done like this, and that. And they had no freaking idea. You have the internet trolls out there wanting what they want. It's like Marvel is really going down while DC is trying to go up. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Also, if you haven't already, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 600 subscribers. 600. I believe. Hold on. Yeah, we're almost at 600 subscribers. We're at 564. And also, welcome to the new subscribers. Love y'all, appreciate it. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell. That way you know the next time I post. Okay? All right. So, till next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay gold.